Hey, welcome back to New England Fire Cooking. I'm Aaron Higgins, and today is this absolutely monstrous ribeye. And these are called Tomahawk Ribeyes. You pick up the handle right here, and it looks like you have a tomahawk. This has been sitting in my freezer for a little while. I decided to pull it out, give it a long, slow thaw in the fridge, and figured today'd be just as good a day as any to eat this bad boy. It's USDA prime. As you can tell, it's got some beautiful marbling in there. And now we want to get this bad boy seasoned, and we want to reverse sear something like this. Steak this size, you really need to think about how you're going to cook it, and reverse sear is a good way of doing it. Something that's this thick, you're not going to be able to just throw this right on the grill and just cook it off hot and fast, because what's going to happen is the outside of the steak is going to cook. It's even going to overcook, and the inside won't be done yet. So the best thing to do is indirect heat. We're going to use a smoker for reverse sear, and then we'll finish it off on the grill. I'm going to go through this in any little hangers like this, something like that. I'll pull this off, and you just kind of want to give it a good once over. I could probably knock down some of this fat over here, stuff like that. You could pull that right off, cut that off, get that out of there, and just kind of bust off some of this stuff that's just going to burn. All right, stuff like this, you could clip it. I'm not going to go too far into this. I don't want to start cutting into the steak, but any of this loose stuff, junk like that, you can pull that right off. Now, to season this steak, what I have right here, I have all my seasonings in this little bowl, and what I did was I used the Cattleman's Smokehouse, the Bullshit, and the Montreal, all in equal portions. I did 3 tablespoons, or 1 tablespoon of each, 3 tablespoons total. Now what I want to do is I want to get a tiny bit of olive oil on the steak, and it's going to serve as a binder. Lets our rub stick to the steak a little bit better, just helps it out. So I'm not going too crazy. I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on. I'm just going to rub that on. Don't forget your sides. Steak this big, this thick. Can't forget those sides. Same thing in the back. So if it ran down in the back. Yeah, now what I'm going to do is I mixed all these seasonings together, and now I'm just going to lay it right on. We're going to do the same treatment on this back side. A little bit of olive oil. Make in with our seasoning. Give it a good pat. Double check, make sure that all sides are seasoned and look good. Once you got your seasoning on, we're going to let this bad boy hang out and come up to room temperature for a little while. It's going to help it cook a little bit more even. In the meantime, what we'll do is we'll get the Traeger fired up. That's what we're going to be using to reverse sear this, and we'll see you down at the grill. Okay, so I got the steak right on the Traeger. As you can see, I've got my ThermalWorks dot probe set right into the thickest part. The probe's probably sitting right around here. Okay, and I've got the dot set to go off at 100 degrees. And at that point, we'll know that we're ready to do our sear. The steak's looking absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna let it roll in some smoke right at 275, and then at 100 degrees, we'll sear it off and it'll be time to eat. Okay, dot alarm just went off. I got my Weber Q fired up, and now we're going to blast this and get some good marks on it, let it rest, and it'll be time to eat. So to sear this, I'm using my Weber Q. You might ask me why I'm not using charcoal, and it's simply because I don't have any right now. I thought I did. Unfortunately, I do not. So here I am using my Weber Q, which is fine. Weber Q is a little workhorse of a grill. It shows up and does its job every time. Just hitting these grill grates for any grill with some cooking spray. And then we're going to set this bad boy right on like that, right at an angle. And we're gonna let this roll for about a minute, and then we're gonna give it a twist. So it's been about a minute, and now we're gonna give this steak a twist. Just like that. We'll let it roll for another minute and give it a flip. So after another minute and a half, we're gonna give it a flip, and look at that glorious ribeye. So we just took this big, beautiful tomahawk off the grill, got it on the cutting board. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this bad boy rest for a little while, about 15 minutes before we cut into this. Okay, you guys, here we are. Will you look at this steak? I'm gonna go through this real quick. Prime, USDA prime bone-in ribeye, or tomahawk, but usually you're gonna see bone-in ribeye on the label. About 1.5 inches thick, 2 inches thick. You need to reverse sear it. You're not going to be able to just chuck it on the grill and knock it out in a few minutes. You got to reverse sear these guys. We seasoned it with a mixture of 3 different seasonings, all equal portions of McCormick's Montreal steak, Cattleman's Smokehouse, and then the bullshit rub from Big Cock Ranch. After that, we got it on a Traeger, 275. We ran it for about an hour, maybe a little less than an hour, before our thermal works dot started letting us know that it was 100 degrees internal. After which, we got it onto the Weber Q with grill grates for any grill, seared it off. Used the Weber Q because I thought I had a bag of charcoal, but apparently I did not. I believe I brought it down to the beach club, and that's where my charcoal's at. But anyway, Weber Q works just fine. Great little workhorse grill. And you can use this on any setup you want. You can do it on a barrel smoker, you can do it on an offset smoker, you can use a charcoal grill, you can do a gas grill. It's really simple to do. But now what I want to do is I want to cut into this bad boy and I want to get a taste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this steak and I'm going to come right down the bone here. Now I want to start cutting this up so I can eat it. I'm looking for that bone that I found earlier, that little feather bone, but I got it. That's gone. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Will you look at this steak, you guys? It's juicy. Smells incredible. I wish you guys could smell this right now. And I'm not doing anything fancy with this. I'm just slicing it up. I know some people like to cut the spinalis off and, you know, they're a little bit more surgical with it. I'm not doing that today. I'm a little crunched on time, but it doesn't matter. This ribeye is gonna be awesome. I could eat this right off the bone. And when you look at that. USDA prime. Of course I gotta get in here and get me a bite. I'm gonna grab one of these slices here and oh man. You cannot beat USDA prime beef. You just can't. Maybe with Wagyu, but generally speaking, it just melts in your mouth. It's so tender. I'm gonna try one of these end pieces, see how I do here. That's crushed on the rub. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic steak. Something like this, if it's you and your significant other, or you and a couple of buddies, I got a couple of them, because if you hang out with me and my pals, I could kill one of these. So guys, you really want to impress some people, you want to bust out the wow factor, Tomahawk Ribeye is a great way to do it. I'm going to serve this up with some potatoes, some salad. We're going to sit down and have a good lunch. It's Friday. I'm going to go to work in a couple hours. It's time for me and my family to sit down and enjoy this. But guys, if you like what you see here and you like what we're doing on this channel, give us a subscribe. Check us out on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Leave your comments in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you next time.